don't know. Had a slice clue, then you can decode. All my friends are pregnant, but it's up on charm. Who I'm more, and you're working on my weed farm. Got a good time reading what you don't know. If you had a slice clue, then you can decode. All my friends are pregnant, but it's up on charm. Who I'm more, and you're working on my weed farm.
Y'all some dead motherfuckers. What? Y'all some dead motherfuckers. Y'all some dead motherfuckers. Y'all some.
Alright guys, so I've owned my Miata for just over a year now, and I'm gonna tell you guys what it's like to have one. Just a little backstory about the car. I got it from a kid that works at VSR, which he restores old, really cool BMWs. So that's why this is painted BMW blue. I forget. He's told me 100 times, I always forget what the name's called, but this is two-stage paint, I believe. Normal Miatas, their paint is single-stage, and it's horrible. The clear coat starts to peel off, and they just look terrible. So chances are, if you want a Miata, you're gonna have to repaint it. It's just how it is. At least if you're getting it like an NA or an NB. Maybe the NBs are a little bit better, but the older ones, the paint's junk. I got a pretty good deal on it. I couldn't pass it up. I mean, I grew up and Miatas were literally like $600, $1,000 cars. I'm like, oh, whatever, dude. They're pretty cheap. Well, finally, I started to like them, and they skyrocket to like $5 grand for like a decent one. I mean, you could still find them probably $3 grand beat to shit. I just didn't want to deal with it. This one had really nice paint, so I got it. I think it was like $4,600 or something like that. It had an exhaust leak, wicked bad. The thing runs like crap. It still runs pretty bad. See what I mean? So far, I love this thing. So I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit about it, what to look for. None of these fucking clips are making sense. So what it's like owning a Miata, you kind of go into it expecting what it's like owning a Miata, and you're half right. You're not totally there. Like, it's a small car, it's good on gas. Alpha bros will totally like make fun of you with their pickup trucks. I had one guy, me and Lexi were driving down the road with the top down, and this guy in like a lifted truck literally just yelled out, "Gay car!" Like, it wasn't even your car is gay, it's just like, "Gay car!" And that just comes with it. I mean, this one's baby blue, but it's just funny. But you get more thumbs up or people yelling at you like, "Miata!" Or they want you to do the flappy headlight thing. The good outweighs the bad by a lot. For gas mileage, it's okay. It's really not that great. This is a 1.6 liter engine, and this thing just drinks fuel. And mine's worse than a normal Miata because it has Mega Squirt or Speedy EFI. It's an aftermarket ECU system to make it go faster. It's not tuned right at all. I got a massive vacuum leak that goes in and out. So my Miata's bad on gas. But even a Miata that runs right, I think you're only getting like 18 miles per gallon. And it takes regular, so that's sweet, especially now with premium up around like 4 gallons. Yeah, $4 a gallon, kind of a lot. But it's a lot better than a truck. As for the size of person that should own this car, I'm 5'7", and since I'm 5'7", I assume that's average height, but it's really not. A lot of my friends are taller than me. They have a tough time getting in the car, uncomfortable riding in the car. Some of my bigger friends, I have race seats in here, and they can't even sit in the race seats because they're so small. 30-inch waist race seats, and I got these ones out of the E30 because the ones I ordered for this car didn't fit in the car at all. So these seats are super small, but you can close the doors. The other seats I ordered, I think, were 34-inch waist NRG seats, and you couldn't even put them in the car. They just did not fit. So keep in mind with that, if you're a big dude, your love for Miata has to outweigh your love for being comfortable. Because if you have a long waist, or like a long torso, your eye line in race seats, depending how they fit in the car, you're probably going to be looking almost at like the end of the windshield, like all the way up here. As for the trunk space, it's not bad. You can do like grocery shopping, but say if you want to get like a full pack of toilet paper, paper towels, you can't put them in there. You got to have them in the front seat with you. And if you bring someone with you to the grocery store, you just can't do it. So like groceries, you could probably like cook for 3 nights worth of groceries with what you can fit in the trunk. As for drifting it with the space, my buddy Anthony had one for his first drift car, and you could put 2 tires in the passenger seat, or take the passenger seat out, probably fit more in there, and then you can put 2 tires in the trunk without rims, because you have to literally crush them to get them in there. So, and then you have obviously a set on the rear, so you could drift the whole day if you show up to the track alone with all your stuff. Or I've seen people, they'll use like a trailer hitch, and they'll have a little trailer with all their stuff on it. So that works pretty good too. So just something to keep in mind with like how tiny this car is. So let's talk reliability here. Miata, you're not going to beat reliability at all. I've owned BMWs pretty much my whole life, and I know that doesn't help my case with how reliable this car is, but it's so reliable. It is insane. This thing runs like garbage because of the tune, and I've been drifting on it all season long. Literally had no issues whatsoever, aside from having it run like crap because of the tune. So it's not the car's fault. Still, I'm drifting it on a junk tune, beating the hell out of it, and it still has not broken down. It hasn't severely overheated. We'll get to that in a second. You can slay tires all day long because it doesn't go through tires, it barely weighs anything. You bump the rears up to 60 or all the way up to 80. Like Mike at the track, he's another Miata kid. He runs 80 and he's like chasing down Corvettes with the thing. It's amazing. We did tandems all day long, and I'm talking like we wouldn't stop tandeming for 2 hours non-stop, and we're not waiting in line either. We're doing the whole track. By the time you come around, everyone's already on the track again, so you're not waiting in line. You're just go, go, go. 2 hours of non-stop drifting, and it barely goes through a set of tires. If you're looking to just have a fun like summer car and do some canyon runs or mountain roads, you'll never run into an issue. I would drive this thing all the way up to Mount Washington and not even second guess. The only thing that I know that these have a problem with are if you're drifting this and you have the 1.6 diff with the 1.6 axles in the back, or CD joints or whatever, those eventually break, I guess. This is a welded. It hasn't broken on me, but I've heard people that are like, yeah, you gotta change that out, it's gonna break. Hasn't happened to me yet, and I put this thing into some pretty rough holes at the track. I haven't broken anything. A quick rundown what I did to my car. I have mine set up for drifting, but you can still daily like this. Like this is my summer daily. I have a truck for the winter. You can easily drive this all winter too. You just want a hard top with the defroster and then winter tires, you'd be fine. But I've got ISC suspension coilovers everything brand new and top of the line expensive, and then I take it to the track and just destroy it. I think the only stuff I really spent money on was the front Destroy or Die angle kit, and that's just how it is. Not a lot of companies make a budget kit, and if they do, it's just not worth installing because you're barely going to get any extra angle. So you spend another $500 and you get like 200% more angle or something crazy like that. For the body kit, I just went with KBD. We have sort of like a group discount with Netco at the track, which is where we drift all the time. So I think I got 10% off the kit. It ended up costing me $880 for the whole kit. And you can bend this kit, you can drive into a wall, the kit's not gonna break because it's made out of like really hard rubber. I'm sure it's made out of something else, but it's basically like really hard rubber. It shows up in a box, all rolled up, and you leave it outside like the hot sun, and it comes to life and like forms itself, which is pretty neat. And then for paint, I went back to the original owner because he had paint left over from painting it, bought that off him, and then painted the whole kit to match. So it's not wrapped. Wrapping would have been cheaper, and if you hit something, you just put another piece of wrap over it. Like I already trashed the rear bumper. Fun fact, Miatas have plastic rear bumper support mounts. So I blew up a tire. The tire flapped while we were sliding, blew the rear mount off the car, and then by the end of it, just dragged on the ground and ripped the other piece off too. So now I got a bash bar on the way, so I can mount a piece of metal to the car and then put the bumper on. So that's something to think about too. Like I did not know that. So if you guys want to go drifting with your Miata and your cool body kit, try to get a bash bar in the back to replace those plastic mounts, because the first day the bumper came off. Trashed my paint. Got to paint it all again. Just a little tip. Alright, so that's going to be the end of my rant about the Miata and how much I love it. Post below if you guys have Miata, or if you want a Miata, what one you're thinking about getting, or any other Miata stuff that I didn't answer in this video. I'm going to be making a lot more videos about the Miata, and thanks for watching, guys. It means a lot. Hope this video helped you out. Make sure you subscribe, hit that little bell. I think that's what you're supposed to say now.